Hi Tyler, it's so good to see you again. How have you been feeling since our last session together?
I think things have been good. I think doing the pros and cons list is going to help.
Okay, well how has that helped you in the past week since we haven't seen each other?
I think I know now what my goals are, and so now I guess I just need help, figuring out how I need to achieve those goals.
Okay, well based on our pros and cons list, what would you say your goals are?
Well, like I said, me coming to these counseling sessions will, maybe help me get my kids back. So I guess I need help figuring out what I need to do to get my kids back. How I come to you for you to help me.
So what you're saying is your goal right now is to get your kids back?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down, alright? And would you say there's any other goals you may be having?
Maybe I could find a way to make more money. That'd probably help.
Alright, well I think these are very great goals that you have in mind, but if you're okay with this, let's try to simplify these goals to make them easier for us to obtain. Does that sound okay with you? Okay, so let's start with getting your kids back. What are ways you can do or things you can do to obtain that?
I guess quit drinking. But I guess that's kind of why I'm here, is to quit drinking. So I don't know, what do you think a goal for me could be?
Well, let's think of something that's specific and that we can measure. So maybe we can limit the amount of drinks that you have during the week. So what's something you think, a limit you could set on yourself?
Well, what if I just cut it in half? What if instead of 6 beers a night, I drink 3?
So you think 3 beers a night is still not a lot?
Well, I don't want to go cold turkey, but I mean, I just don't know if 3 is enough, or I guess it's something I'll just have to try and test it out.
Do you think you can maybe do 2 beers a night?
I can try that.
Okay. I'm gonna write this down so this is something you can take home with you so you can see it when you're away from me, okay?
Okay.
Well, is there any other agreements you have worked out with Janice that you can work on?
Right now, I only get the kids every other weekend. So I don't know if that helps out with any plans that we can work on or not.
Well, what if we set a goal of when you're not with the kids, every night you can have at least 2 beers. But the nights that you do have your kids, you don't drink at all.
Okay.
Do you think that's something that you could do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Tyler. Well, I feel like we have set some parameters for this goal about getting your kids back with your drinking that are very specific and measurable. So let's move on to this goal of wanting to make more money, okay? So how do you see yourself making more money?
Well, right now, I just drive a truck, and I mean, it pays decent, but not enough to be able to have my kids with me all the time. So maybe I could be something like a heart doctor. Maybe I've seen online those guys make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. They do make a lot of money, but let's think of a job that you could get now. Because, doctors have to go to school for a long time. So that would put you off getting money for a while. So since that's going to put you off getting money for a while, let's think of some jobs that are realistic for you to obtain now that you'd be good at. So what do you think those jobs could be?
Well, I did one of those online career finder things. Some of the questions it asked was, what level of education you have, and I did get my GED. asked like what kind of things you like to do, and I've never been one of them people that sits behind a computer desk or anything like that. I like to
So
work.
maybe something outside or.
I like to work with my hands and do more physical labor, things like that. I also like working with cars, and I've helped people build houses and stuff, and I like I've done like landscaping, so I think that's something that I could do. I just don't know of anything like that I can make good money and be able to buy my kids what they need and be able to take care of them how I should as a dad.
So what you're saying is anything in an office setting or inside is not going to be something you want to do?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, I definitely have some resources that I can give you of us finding places for you to work and stuff like that. But I know for a lot of jobs you have to have a resume. So have you ever made a resume before?
Well, if I did, it wouldn't be very long. I've only had, a couple jobs that lasted more than a month. So do I put every job on there? Do I put, that I dropped out of high school and had to go back and get my GED? I don't know how that works. So somebody would need to help me with that.
Well, that's something I can help you with, absolutely. So, at the end of this session, I'm going to give you a paper that has some possible, I have a system I can look up what things you're looking for, like job-wise, and I can give you that. And by the end of this week, I want you to have gone through and pick out at least 5 jobs that you'd like to apply for. Do that list, okay? Do you think that's something you can do by the end of this week before our next session?
Could that be something that we start working on right now? 'Cause I think, if I throw some jobs out there that I think I could do, maybe you could help me, whether you think that's something I could do, realistically, and still be able to, make enough money for my kids.
Yeah, I just don't know of any specific jobs that you would have. We could talk about the type of jobs, such as like landscaping or housework or something like that. If that's what you like to do.
Okay.
Okay, so let's use landscaping as an example. That's something you said you liked, correct?
Yeah, I just don't know if I can make enough money that way.
Well, I'm sure we can look around at different job options that are in landscaping and look at their price ranges and pay rates like that.
Okay.
So let's make some goals for us to get to that point. Or let's make some stepping stones to get to that point, okay?
Okay.
So we talked about before next session, you're going to go through the list I'm going to give you of which jobs you want to apply for.
Okay.
Okay? So after we do that, you're going to come back and bring that to me and we'll talk about that, okay? But let's make it another step that the next session after.
You said I needed a resume.
Yep, the next session after that, we'll have a resume. And before you leave our next session, I'm going to give you all the tools you need to create it. And you create it on your own, and then bring it back to me and we'll fix it if we need to.
Okay.
That sound like a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I feel like everything we just talked about was a lot. So let's go back over everything we just discussed just to make sure you and I are on the same page, okay?
Okay.
So we set 2 goals, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me what those 2 goals were?
For me to get my kids back and to make more money.
Yep. All right, so what were going to be our smaller individualized goals that we were going to obtain to get these big goals that we want? Let's start with the one about getting your kids back.
We said that I needed to cut back on my drinking. Right now I only have my kids every other weekend, so when I don't have my kids, I need to try to keep it to just maybe 2 beers a night.
And you know it's okay to do even less than that if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
You know? Okay.
And when I do have my kids, I don't need a drink at all.
Absolutely. And I think it would be a good idea if, I know your kids know you struggle with alcohol. I think it would be beneficial for them if, in the house you don't have any alcohol out or maybe in the refrigerator while they're there. So then maybe they can see, hey, Dad's doing better, and that could be good for them.
Okay.
Does that sound like you can do that?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about this goal of make more money. So what's our game plan for that?
To get a job that is more attainable for me. To do that, I need to pick out something that I think I can do, and then in a couple sessions we'll start working on getting me a resume so that I can apply for one of those jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you feel about that? Do you think that's something you can do?
Yeah, I think we're making progress.
Yeah, I feel the same way. All right, Tyler. Well, I just want to commend you on your honesty and how well you've been working in here. I feel like we are moving in the right direction, and I'm looking forward to our sessions to come. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.